What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Latin Explaining with Denise. My name is Denise Gonzalez. For those who do not know me, for those who do, you guys know how we always do it here. Make sure you like and subscribe if you haven't done so, and also hit that bell for notifications so that you don't miss a single stream we do here. Now, how is everyone doing? How is your body feeling after yesterday? For everybody that celebrated the 4th of July or simply just had a barbecue, because a lot of us are not American, but I had a good time with my friends. I'll just say that. Also, I know I'm a little late, but it's all Melanated Night's fault, okay? So take it with him. He knows what I'm talking about. So definitely, I had a great time yesterday. But being 30, let me tell you guys something. Being 30 sucks. Okay. You try to party like you're 20, and then the next day you feel it in all your body. I think I danced way too much yesterday. I don't know about you guys, but today we all feel like crap. But we're still here. We have a commitment to you guys and also to everyone that watches this show. So I want to welcome Christina, Sundown, All Aboard, JS, Melanated Night, Morena, God Body, and everybody else in the chat. If I miss you, just know I'm watching you. Risa Realm and Jose are also here. Um, I see that Jose said, I had a great time with my brother and his lady yesterday. Yeah, yesterday was a day that even if you don't celebrate the 4th of July, and I get that, it was an opportunity because everybody was off, everybody was in the party mode. And also, let's just say this, after lockdown and the C-19, trust me, we want to use any excuse to get together, mingle. And like I said before, it's time to flex our social muscles again. We've been stale for too much and we don't want to cripple those, okay? So make sure you look your best, you smell the best, and take your ass out there and party a little bit, okay? You never know. Maybe you might find the love of your life, or you might find, I don't know, another friend. Who knows where life can take you? It's time to go out, have fun, party, dance, drink responsibly. But, it's time to actually go out. Now, before we get into this stream, I want to say a quick disclaimer. I posted what I'm going to talk about today on my social media. I got mixed responses from people. And all I want to say, there's a certain commentary that didn't sit well with me. And I'm going to say this before I start today. By any reason, I am not trying to unite with individuals that actually dislike or have a disdain for Caribbean Latinos. And for those who do not understand it, Cubans, Dominicans, and Puerto Ricans and Haitians, we're all cousins and we love each other very much and try to help each other as much as we can. It has been throughout history proven many times. You might not understand that if you're not a Caribbean Latino, but it doesn't matter. As a matter of fact, we love each other very much. We consider each other, you know, uh, family. So if you don't understand the Caribbean Latino culture, please get to know it before you can make commentaries about it, because it's kind of cringeworthy to see that people don't understand who we are. But that's what we're here. We're here to explain to people who we are and let it known. And it's one of also the main purposes of this channel. Now, without any further ado, you guys know how we do it here. Let's start this show. Boy, oh boy. Today's episode is a call to all Dominicans, either in the diaspora or in my beautiful island, Puerto Rico. In the past few days, a lot of stuff has been spoken. I don't know how many of you guys know, but because of our position in the Caribbean, a lot of Dominicans now facing a lot of abuse from their government, a lack of opportunities, uh, equal pay disparity. Also, in my opinion, a humanitarian crisis. A lot of Dominicans have decided to abandon the island in the pursuit of a better quality of life. And we have seen this number increase right now to the point where 56% of the migration in Latin America is by Dominicans. Now, I want to say something before we start. I've gotten, like I said, mixed opinions on stuff that I post. And like I said, this is not grilling or me trying to roast anybody. I believe in migration. I'm an immigrant myself. And I believe that there is no shame in survival. So before we start, let's just put that out there. And I want to share with you guys something that we see. If you grew up in the island, you know we see this every day happening in our island. So I want to show you guys something that happened a few weeks ago and was recorded this time so that people can understand. And I want you guys to see what we have been seeing increase in the past year or so due to the C-19 repercussions in the Dominican people.
Que se vayan a correr y se da pelito. Ahí está. La policía, a ver. ¡Corre, corre! Pero mira ese policía, no. Mira, corre unos culeros. Siéntate ahí. En eso llegaron, mira eso. Increíble.
Now, as you guys can see, this is what we see every day in our island, which is heartbreaking, and which is why we every time when we see this, we try to help as much as we can to disguise Dominicans among us so that they don't get deported. Now, during 2014 throughout 2016, there was a lot of organizations in Puerto Rico that were pushing the governor to actually approve a law that if Dominicans were established themselves and got into the land, they could not be deported, which is fantastic to me. And he signed it into law in 2017. And thank God we had that passed. Now, these same organizations kept on fighting and pushing the envelope to the point where now, for the first time, our Congresswoman, Jennifer Gonzalez, decided to redact a letter that's going to be sent tomorrow, July 6, 2021, into Congress. And I want to share with you what this lady that usually doesn't do shit for the people actually proved that she is able to do something good. She redacted this letter. I'm going to remove the banner so you guys can read it while I explain to you what the letter is about. Basically, she's requesting Congress to include the Dominican Republic in the list of countries that may have access to apply for an H-2B visa to actually bring in Dominicans as non agricultural workers. What does that mean? What it means is that now, if you have a business or you're a small business or medium or even a big one, you can petition a Dominican or a group of Dominicans to just not have to risk their lives in that dangerous trip in the Caribbean waters where you can face either being abused, killed, eaten by sharks, or hunger or being lost because the Caribbean waters are very dangerous. Instead of you having to risk your life, now we can petition you to work in our country and you can come in as a worker and later on establish yourself. So if that's not a good thing, I don't know what it is. So, like I said, I'm excited. I don't know if you guys are. If you're excited about this, put a number one in the chat. You know, if you're not excited about this, then put a number two if you think this is a mistake. In my opinion, I'm going to put a number one because I'm excited as hell. This is what we need. We need more of these actions because we've seen this for way too many decades when we have people from the DR that actually want to better themselves and the United States government blocks them out. Now, the reason why I'm bringing this here is because you guys know that this channel, even though it started back in April, I have been stressing a lot, specifically to certain individuals that are of Dominican descent, that it's time for you guys to start building businesses. I see that everybody agree with me and is excited about this. And one thing that I have to say, and I'm sorry, I don't mean all the Dominicans here, I mean just a specific sector. um if you thought that I was full of shit or that I was talking out of my ass and you decided to follow the slow tap circus to think that what I was talking about is that I was making, like somebody called me, Denise's God is money. Be careful of following a woman and giving you advice about money. Let me tell you something. If you would have listened to me back in January when I started saying that Dominicans, Puerto Ricans, Mexicans, Guatemalans, Hondurans, Cubans, everybody needed to start owning and starting businesses, now would have been a very, very special occasion for you to bring your people in here through your stupid business. But because I don't know what I'm talking about, now what's going to happen is that American corporations will bring your people here and slave the fuck out of them. So there's still time, but it's time for us to acknowledge that beyond me being a woman speaking about this or me being with an African American, it's time to listen to the message and stop listening to the circus. The circus doesn't have anything to teach you. I want you guys to actually pay attention to the results. The world doesn't function on religion. The world doesn't function in emotions. The world doesn't function in how much of a Hispanic or how much of a Latino you are. The world functions with money. And I bring this here because I'm sorry, but I am fucking gloating. I called this one a while ago. And if many of y'all would have listened to me, now you would have been able to give your people some hope and opportunities. But because it's more important to just discredit what I said without any fact, any, like Jose said, it made too much fucking sense. Now you're still behind and not getting ready to help your people. So I have a call for all Dominicans. This won't go into effect until later on, I believe in 30 to 60 days, if I'm not mistaken. It's going to be discussed tomorrow. As you guys can see in the letter, it's going to be discussed on July 6, 2021, when Congress reopens after the 4th of July holiday. And I want to know, you guys, do you think it's time to call all Dominicans to actually start building yourselves here? Is it time to tell our Dominican brothers and sisters that it's time to unite as one in order for y'all to save yourselves? Or you want to leave your destiny up to other people? I want to know if you guys agree with what I've been saying about the whole building yourself and owning something, because it will give you power over the future, history, and decisions. If you agree with that, press number one, put a number one in the chat. It's like I said, this is something that I've been saying for quite a while right now, and people, certain individuals, try to tell me how they should focus just on making children. But for what? For what? What is that? How is that going to help your community? How is that going to help y'all build something worth fighting for? So, like I said, Dominicans need to be very clever. This is an opportunity that you guys have to actually treat your people with a lot of dignity that they deserve. They're coming from, like I said, Dominicans, for those who do not know, are going through a humanitarian crisis right now, and their government does not give a flying fuck about its people. I have Dominican friends that live in the Dominican Republic, and I'm still looking for ways on how to bring them over to Puerto Rico when I go over there, because I despise the fact that these people have so many talents, so much to give. However, the government blocks them all the time. And many of them are professionals, but still live in poverty. So, if you think that maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm full of shit, I want to hear from you. I definitely want to hear from you, which is why I'm going to share the link and I want to have a discussion. Before I do that, you guys know that I usually go into intermission. We're gonna go on a little bit longer intermission today, probably like a few more minutes. However, I want to remind you guys, like I said, I have a few people here. I want you guys to like and subscribe if you haven't done so. I see a lot of people responded one. Yeah, definitely, it's time to start owning some stuff. It's time to nobody. Before we go into intermission and I share the link, I want to tell y'all something. Nobody, absolutely nobody, not even us Puerto Ricans, will have the best interest of your people better than you. Nobody. And it's time for Dominicans to stop being scared and start building something and believe in yourselves. It's time, And right now, the worst thing that can happen is that what? You fail. That's part of life. Failure is part of life, and you have to be ready for it and also embrace it and learn from it. So if you're not ready to fail, you're failing your people already. So how much more you can actually fail? You're on the other side. You're the best hope your people have. You cannot come here and start preaching things about unity and Latinidad and how we're one people and this, and that, and then try to embrace your culture because, like I said before, 56% of all the migration in the Americas is by Dominicans right now. So you guys know that the reasons why people migrate to other places is because of the lack of opportunities, financial distress, chronic poverty, and an abusive government. So it's time to act on this, and it's not time to chill. I get it. You want to chill, you want to watch Netflix, you want to just be yourself and whatnot, but it's time to act for the betterment of your people. Otherwise, be ready to see the DR that you know today and its people destroyed, because that's what usually happens. So I'm going to go into my intermission. And if you think I'm full of shit, if you think I don't know what I'm talking about, it's time for you to hop up in here and let me know. Okay? I'm going to put the link in the chat. So before I go into intermission, don't forget to follow me on Instagram, denise.gonzalez.villegas1, if you want to keep up with all the things that I do and talk about on there, because I'm mostly not bringing all of these things here because there's so many things happening in Latin America and here with our Latin diaspora. So I'm gonna go into intermission for a few minutes. It's 6:15 where I'm at. I'll be back at 6:25. I'm gonna take 10 minutes away. If you guys wanna take a break or bring your snacks or make yourself a sandwich, this is the time. And I'll be back at 6:25. We are back from our intermission, and I want to thank you guys for sticking by me. Now, let's remind you guys before we start discussing this that the views and statements of the guests do not necessarily represent those of the channel and or those of the panel members, as some comments may be offensive to select groups of people. Also, let's remember that by calling into the live show, you waive your rights to the use of your image and likeness for the purposes of this show. So now let's get the discussion popping, guys. How are you, Jose and Rakim?
Good evening, everybody. I hope everyone's well.
I'm good, good. How was that 4th of July?
It's always, I had a great time. I spent some time with my brother and this lady, and what we did, we talked about what a positive role model my older brother was. In fact, in about 3 weeks, it will mark 6 years ago, 6 years that he passed away.
That's
And but he lives in our hearts.
yeah, definitely. He will be immortalized in you guys. Now, regarding the topic, a call to all Dominicans to actually, um, you know, bring something of substance to actually start building themselves and actually claim their people as non-agricultural workers and give them opportunities. What's your opinion on that, Jose?
This whole message from the beginning, from what I understand, is to help us to become masters of our own fate, and that we shouldn't depend on others to try to rescue us or save us. Unfortunately, and please forgive me if I tend to use biblical illustrations to describe it, but I think it's the best analogy. But you have certain people that have a slave mentality. I mean, they cannot think anything other than, well, there's nothing I can do. I just got to deal with the situation as is. So when they come across individuals that tell them, you can be the masters of your own fate. You can do things to change your situation. You can take your own destiny into your own hands. What happens is there's a lot of pushback. And from what I've seen, you've been one of the biggest targets of that, because your message is basically we need to empower ourselves. And if our Dominican brothers and sisters, if they can just get past being followed by the Dominican slow taps, um, and blame everything on everybody other than themselves, and just take some positive actions, they would be in a better position. And please forgive me if I sounded a little bit too wordy, but that's what I thought.
No, no, definitely, definitely. I agree with you 100%. We have to look past these people because, and I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna own it completely. But I'm gonna say something. If you're part of the slow tap circus and you're watching this, um, man, the slow tap circus hates you. If they will love you, they would encourage you. And you don't have to give me credit. You can do this on the DL. You can do it on your own. You don't have to tell, oh, like I got the inspiration from her. No, no, you don't have to give me credit at all. My satisfaction will be that you're taking some action. So if the slow tap circus will love you and love your people, they will definitely encourage you to help your people. They will encourage you to actually build with your people. If you don't believe me, look at the Chinese and how they were in shambles 20 years ago and even 40 years ago. And they decided to unite and start doing exactly what I'm telling Dominicans today. And look at where they are today. Today, they're one of the biggest potencies in the world. They even have the American government in their pockets because they acted like this. So, copy paste from them. I believe Dominicans have an excellent opportunity right now to actually bring their people over here or to Puerto Rico, because let's not forget, if Puerto Rico gets this done for Dominicans in Congress, you can also bring them here to the US. It's not just Puerto Rico. They don't have to just stay in the Caribbean. They can also come here to the United States and actually make something happen for their people. It's not going to be just like, oh, let me just send a few $100s or $1,000 to my relative. No, you can actually bring them over here, give them a position in your company, and you will have them here living with you and actually enjoying the benefits of this country. And then whenever you're ready, you can either go back to your country or extend a branch of your company in your nation and actually banish the chronic poverty that Dominicans have. And you will also have the benefit of being an American corporation. So I believe Music Only said the issue is that the Chinese are a dictatorship. Their government can plan for the long run, while the democratic governments can only play the short game, 4 years in office, depending on the nation. Yeah, but Music Only, what I'm talking about is just self awareness. The problem with people like yourself is that you get too political when it comes to stuff like this. The betterment of your people should never be something that's political. It doesn't matter if, the government of the DR is a dictatorship or a democracy. It doesn't matter. It should not stop you or hinder your process on becoming something greater than yourself for the sake of duty and also purpose. And that's what we're seeing in Chinese. We have a Chinese community in Puerto Rico, by the way. And I have a Chinese Puerto Rican friend. And you could tell the way they do things everywhere where they establish themselves. They literally just start these little restaurants. And once they are profitable, they just open a second one and give that one to the newly Chinese immigrants so that they can start making money. So, it's like I said, Cody Francis says Puerto Ricans are destroyed. I strongly disagree. I would like for you to tell me
Excuse
facts
me.
on how Puerto Ricans are destroyed. Why you don't come on to the platform and actually explain to us how Puerto Ricans are destroyed for helping Dominicans?
Denise, I don't think that person's going to do that. But but I would like to. But I would like to. But I like to say something.
Right.
People think that the power lies in the president of the United States. When everything is said and done, the president can propose whatever type of laws. It is up to Congress. First of all, it's up to the House
Yeah.
to create the laws. Then it has to go to the Senate, where they're going to make whatever changes and what have you. So the only thing the president can do is go out there and make speeches on how he wants a certain type of legislation. When everything is said and done, the president can propose one thing, and what happened is many times what he proposes doesn't get passed, or if it does get passed, it's a watered down version.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the reality.
Yeah. That is usually how it happens. I just don't understand how we are destroyed for helping our Dominican brothers and sisters. I'm still trying to put those two and two together. If
Uh,
anything, unity makes us stronger. So I
Denise,
disagree with that.
Denise, may I make a suggestion?
Yeah, go ahead.
Don't try to figure it out. It's only going to make you go crazy.
Oh my god. The mental gymnastics. Music only account says, I'm going to try to bring Dominican Renaissance into the panel. Well, to bring him here, of course. I see that Smoothie says, Wepa coño. Yeah, Wepa. I'm like, literally, like I said, this is something that instead of making actually commentary that will benefit the collective, we see often that this keeps on happening.
Because,
And
I'm sorry,
yeah, go ahead, Jose, go ahead.
because of the slave mentality. I mean, okay, now forgive me if I use the Bible as an example. The children of Israel, they faced slavery in Egypt for 400 years. And then Moses came, and then, through God's intervention, the children of Israel were free. They were physically free. However, they were still intellectually and mentally in bondage because they've been under slavery for so long. They don't know what it is to be free. And unfortunately, a lot of our people are into an intellectual bondage.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. I see that Melanated Night is here. Welcome, Mel Knight. What's up?
Yay! What's up,
Good
Kid?
evening, Melanie and Night. It's always a
Hey,
pleasure to hear
Jose.
from you.
How's it going?
Okay. First of all, I just want to, before anything else, I want to highly commend you for giving so much support to your fine fiance Denise in all her endeavors.
Oh, thank you.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Yeah, if you guys enjoy my graphics, all the little clips that I bring, the person behind all of that is Melanated Night.
Yeah.
He's the tech guy in this family because if it was up to me, trust me, it will be a clusterfuck. So now, Melanated Night, what's your take on this call to all Dominicans to actually own something to help their people instead of letting others dictate the rules for them?
I mean, it's good. I think anybody, like I said, I'm not against Dominicans. I like everybody, unless you like trigger me in some type of way. I don't have a problem. I just think like for those people who are on the other end who keep, you know, insulting, I think we have to understand like if this goes through, all that talk about, Puerto Ricans are through, you have to think about that with you too. Because now if they allow the floodgates to open, you're going to come into you can come into the states, and like with any other culture that comes to the state, after a while that will assimilate to the state. So all that rhetoric that we're talking about, like, oh, these people are colonized and they're more American than that, it's going to be the same thing. The only difference is you're not a colony.
Yeah, definitely. And
So
also,
all
go ahead, go ahead.
so all that, talk is now null and void. And especially if it goes through, anything you say about Puerto Ricans will automatically jump to you, because now what's going to happen is people are going to be like, well, your people are coming to the United States, and I'm pretty sure not every Dominican is going to go back
Yeah,
once
of
when they get
course.
here. And I can't blame them. You want a better life. So I mean,
Definitely.
and I'm not saying the island is, crappy or anything. I'm not saying nothing like that. I'm just saying for those who might live in like areas that are, underneath the poverty line, they might want to be like, I just want something better. So
Yeah,
not every one of them are going to come back. So what are you going to tell the Dominicans who come here in the future, the second and the third and the fourth generation? Are they too gringoized? Are you're in the same exact situation, just without being a colony? And two, you can't really talk crap about Puerto Ricans because it's through Puerto Ricans why you even got here. So it's kind of like you guys got to either, the best thing for you to do is to stop all the rhetoric and just do, if it goes through, bring them over here.
exactly. Build.
Nobody hates them, nobody dislikes them, but the rhetoric that goes on makes it hard for people to connect, especially when other people are helping your people.
Definitely, definitely. And I want to share something with people that are actually willing to take action. If you start your business, I want to share with you guys the requirements for applying for an H-2B visa for Dominican workers. And the eligibility actually requires that you must establish that there are not enough U.S. workers who are able, willing, or qualified and available to do the temporary work. The prospective employees are nationals of an H-2B eligible country visa, and the list obviously doesn't include the Dominican Republic now, but if it passes, it will include the Dominican Republic. So they must be Dominicans if you want to bring them over. Employing H-2B workers will not adversely affect the wages and working conditions of similarly employed U.S. workers. Also, its need for the prospective workers' services or labor is temporary, regardless of whether the job can be described as temporary. The employer's need is considered temporary if it is one-time occurrence. A petitioner claiming a one-time occurrence must show that it has not hired workers to perform the service or labor in the past and will not need workers to perform the services or labor in the future, or that it has an employment situation that is otherwise permanent but a temporary event of short duration has created the need for a temporary worker. Another one is seasonal need. A petitioner claiming a seasonal need must show that the service or labor for which it seeks workers is traditionally tied to a season of the year by an event or pattern and is of a recurring nature. Note, you cannot claim a seasonal need if the time period when you do not need the service or labor is unpredictable, may change, or consider a vacation period for your permanent employees. like peak load need. A petitioner claiming a peak load need must show that it regularly employs permanent workers to perform the services or labor at the place of employment, that it needs temporarily increased staffing due to a seasonal or short-term demand, and that the temporary additions to staff will not become part of the employer's regular operation. And intermittent need is another one. A petitioner claiming an intermittent need must show that it has not employed permanent or full-time workers to perform the services or labor, that it occasionally or intermittently needs temporary workers to perform the services or labor for short periods. H-2B petitioners must also provide a single valid temporary labor certification from the U.S. Department of Labor, or in the case where the workers will be employed on Guam, for the Guam Department of Labor. But of course, it's for the United States. And also, let's not forget that H-2B workers may stay in the United States for up to 3 years. So you can bring your Dominican friends and family for up to 3 years to actually work this land with you and actually help you in your business, and also um, give them an opportunity to actually develop themselves here in this country. And if they have to return, they return with savings, with knowledge, and the power to actually make something happen. Because in those 3 years, let's say you save per year, I don't know, $10,000, you have 30,000 American dollars in your pocket to go back to your country and live a better life. So, like I said, this is an amazing opportunity. If passed, I'm gonna keep you guys posted as soon as it passed. But for those of you that believe in prayer, it's time to pray. For those of you that believe like me in action, it's time to start reaching out to your favorite congressman or congresswoman to pressure for this to happen. As a matter of fact, I'm going to send my letter petitioning that this actually passes Congress. So, like the same thing I did yesterday with the Department of Natural Resources in Puerto Rico, I'm gonna bring you guys Thursday the information for you to reach out to your congressman or congresswoman to actually push for this to actually happen, so that we can take the next step. Now, in the meantime, it's time for you to go to your local SBA office and start crowding them with your business plans and get. I don't care if you have to get a grant that you have to pay back, a personal loan that you have to pay back. I don't care how you have to do it. It's time to do it. You can actually, it's tangible for you to give your people a better quality of life. So I see that Rakim is here. So Rakim, welcome. How are you?
Hello, how you doing today, Denise? Hello, Jose. And
I'm good,
what's the
good.
gentleman next to me that's on the panel?
Melanated night.
That's my
Yeah.
boy right there. What's going
What's up,
on,
man?
Melanated Night?
What's up,
Good
Rakim?
evening, Rakim. It's good to hear from you.
Good to hear from you as well, Jose.
So,
I was having a little technical difficulties earlier with my connection, so I had to back out and come back in.
okay, okay. So, how was your 4th of July?
Oh, it was pretty well. It was pretty well. I actually ended up going to my grandfather's house to spend some time with him and my family, my aunt and uncle. Popped some fireworks with my little nephew, and we enjoyed it. It was pretty well. What about yours, Denise, Jose,
Oh, it was
melanated?
great. It was great. It was absolutely great.
Actually, I had a great time. I was with my brother and his lady.
Oh, okay, yeah, yeah, and that's great. Because sometimes we get a little too far deep into things and everything. Let's just have a good time and party and celebrate things for what they are.
Yes.
But I was going to touch on the subject that you was speaking on, Denise, and it's very important for people to understand that it's about economic power. It's about economic growth. There's nothing wrong with being religious, whatever religion that you worship, whether it be Catholic, Christian, Muslim. But it's very important to take action because without no action, you will not see the results that you want. And it's important for people in the Dominican people of the Dominican diaspora, whether it be in the States or in Puerto Rico, to understand that it's time to build businesses to be able to help the economy of the Dominican Republic and be able to build on, be able to build on a foundation there and be able to build on land there and be able to have a connection between there and the United States when it comes to business and economic opportunity. Because of one thing history has shown us when it comes to being religious, or just think that you're just going to be religious without taking action, no matter where you go in this world, the people that are the highest up in the elite bracket are the least religious, and the people that are the poorest are the most. And the only time that the elite use religion is to manipulate the poor. So it's very important that we understand that.
Definitely, definitely. I agree 100%. And it's like I said to like I said earlier, it's time. Literally, when I first started talking about this, like I said, I got a lot of pushback from people that did not understood what was at stake. And I'm glad that, like I said, I'm gloating. I get it. I am. But I'm excited that this is happening now, because now what they're going to say when it's actually being thrown in our faces, what's happening. And there's nothing built right now for the Dominican uh immigrants to actually come here. It's time for you guys to stop hating on me and focus on the task ahead. It's time to build. And like I said, it's crazy that it has come to this. But like I said, Dominicans have a good opportunity. I believe that everybody that's watching me, like I said, guys, it's time for us to help our Dominican brothers and sisters by making our congressmen and women uncomfortable, so that they can understand that we want this to happen, so that we can then start helping our Dominicans brothers and sisters to come here in this country and have a better quality of life. I get it. There's a lot of times when we feel like, hey, I feel bad for what's happening. It's sad. Let me send a couple of $1,000 over there. It doesn't matter, because in reality, there's a saying in Puerto Rico that I'm going to try to translate it my best, but it says, if I give you fish today, you will eat today. But if I teach you how to fish, you will never starve. So, if you give them a couple of $1,000 today, they might pay the rent and whatnot, but it will not solve the problem. When you bring them here and you teach them how to earn a living and actually give them some cushion so that they can actually have some leverage, then you will change their lives forever. Now imagine that, I'm not aware of how many, if any of my Dominican people in the chat knows the exact number or an average number, how many millions of Dominicans are in here in the US. I'm not aware of that, but like,
I believe it's about don't quote me on this because Wikipedia can be very faulty, but I believe it's like about 1.5 million or 1.2 million, somewhere around that number.
yeah, now imagine that out of that 1.2, 1.3 million Dominicans, let's say 50,000 of them actually start a business during the summer and fall. And by winter, because it's peak season, you can actually bring your people here and give them a job. Let's say each one of you brings 10 employees. We're talking about 500,000 people that you will be bringing here as a collective. So, it's something that, imagine if you can keep them here for 3 years and they will come back, 500,000 of Dominicans that are, will be considered wealthy in the Dominican Republic, because I believe every dollar, I mean, from the times I've sent money in this year, I think every dollar is 56 or 58 Dominican pesos, something like that. Correct me on that if you guys. Oh, Christina says it's 2 million.
Okay, so I was way off. Okay.
For by 1 million only. So imagine if they can take $10,000 with them or $20,000 with them in those 10 years, that's a life changing amount of money in the DR. Let me tell you that much. So, guys, like I said, this is an amazing opportunity. It's time for us to press our Congress to actually take action on this.
Excuse me.
Go ahead, Jose.
Actually, I just Googled it. For every $1, it's about 57 Dominican pesos.
Exactly.
Okay. And as far as the other thing, why people don't stop hating on you, the problem is it makes too much sense. Now, now, getting back, the Bible talks about Faith without works is dead. Okay. Meaning it is not enough for me to go into my room and pray to God that something happens. I have to do some sort of an action to bring up that change. What I can do is I can I can seek what is the proper way to make a change in a positive way. But it's like a two-sided coin. In order for a coin to be valid, you must have the head and you must have the tail.
Yeah.
So you must have faith with works together, because faith by itself is dead.
Yeah. Definitely. And it's like there's something that I take with me all the time as a totem, you might say, or something that I carry. There's a few sentences or sayings that I keep close to me because they have helped me personally. But you have to think about, you know, how things and how countries actually work and economies work, because more often times than not, we have people that don't understand that asking for stuff or talking about it's not going to normalize a situation. I believe that the more you um excel, if you might say, the more that you pursue a higher position and you share it with somebody, the better you'll be, the better your people will be, and then you'll be able to have a legacy. And that's why I brought up the Chinese uh, analogy when compares to them. Imagine if we can have a Dominican population here that is known for working hard and owning a lot of stuff. And then when you go back to the DR, these people are rebuilding the DR one by one. And like I said, it's going to be an influx of a lot of people and a lot of dollars into the DR's economy eventually.
Mhm.
And you can start building this up today. It's not about where you start, it's about where you end and your destination. And it's all about purpose and legacy. So, like I said, this is a time where nobody will, like I said, will look after your betterment and your people's betterment than yourselves. So I'm literally calling Dominicans now to actually take action before you have an influx of American corporations taking this away from y'all, and teaching your people, hey, you make this amount of money a month, but like save it and help them also with the housing situation. Because at first, when they come here, they're not going to have that. So who's better to live with you than another Dominican that you might know?
Mhm.
How many of us have left friends back home that we would love to help by giving them a position or a job that they can, profit from and actually build themselves a better life and, go back home and have a good time. If you want to see a better Dominican Republic, now is the time.
Denise,
Go ahead.
uh, one thing I love to do as a union rep, when I see new people become union reps, I love it. I love to share my knowledge with them. Okay. Because I was in their position. And if I can share my knowledge, my little bit of wisdom that I have, I mean, they could avoid some of the mistakes that I've made. And we have the same opportunity with our Dominican brothers and sisters. I mean, here we have the opportunity that we can help them to be masters of their own fate. And then if they pay heed, what's going to happen is not only are they going to have a better life, but also the family in the DR is going to have a better life as well. Unfortunately, in YouTube, um, you have certain individuals that have nothing but negative stuff to say. And unfortunately, some people get their view on what the Dominican community is based on those individuals. An accurate representation. Dominicans, for the most part, they are a hardworking community. They care about their family. They care about their children and what have you. And I'm sure, you know, what's happening in the DR is bothering them deeply.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. And not only that, now that you mentioned that, it kind of like something lit up in my brain. That's another option. Remember you guys when I said at the beginning of the stream that you could branch out to the DR and establish a branch over there of your business? Think about this. You have your branch, your first business here, and you just decide to employ your people. You pay them, you help them make money, you tell them the way of the land, and eventually you can train somebody that can manage your branch in your country in 3 years of learning from you. And the saying, it goes back to the saying that I was gonna say, you're not a leader until you create a leader that creates a leader. So like I said, it's certain things that right now, like I said, Dominicans have a very sweet opportunity if this passes, and trust me, we will push for this to happen for them, um so that they can start creating leaders by doing this and embracing their people at their time of need, and change the turn of history for the Dominican people. I'm sorry. Now I see that Ramon is here. I want to hear his commentary, my fellow Boricua. ¿Cómo estás, Ramon?
Estamos bien aquí, chica. How's everybody on the panel?
Good evening, Ramon. It's always a pleasure to
Good
hear
evening,
from you.
Ramon.
We had an interesting discussion during No Bullshit.
What's up, Ramon?
Oh yeah, definitely. I look forward to the next one too.
It's gonna be tomorrow, guys. It's gonna be fire. Trust me. You
So
guys
do
Oh
I.
yeah, yeah.
want to tune
Oh,
in.
I'm there. Oh, that's
For
gonna be good.
those of you that did not watch the first no bullshit stream, you guys missed on a lot of fun. But tomorrow at 4 p.m. and 7 p.m. Eastern time, 4 p.m. Pacific time, we're gonna have another one. So Ramon, what is your thoughts on the topic of a call of to all Dominicans to actually start owning businesses, bringing Dominicans here to make money and go back to the Dominican Republic as people that are more financially stable?
We know that there are major amount of Dominicans and Dominican Americans in the United States that they are already on their hustle. They are already setting up for their own, and they're having their businesses, and they're doing actually quite all right, quite well. So that part, I don't know if they really need to get started with that. Maybe the ones that maybe haven't considered that. Maybe they could think about that. But there are already Dominicans that are kind of on their hustle, and that they are already having their own businesses, and there are many that are already professionals. Now, what could make a difference for Islander Dominicans is kind of like what you were alluding to, is kind of the through employment, getting work visas, so that facilitates legal migration for Dominicans to the United States, so they can be employed, and that's something that definitely could be looked at. There are other forms in which, to my understanding, that Dominicans can also migrate. There are other ways, other types of visas that are sponsored by churches, probably in the U.S. Because there are religious leaders. There are Dominican religious leaders that sponsor visas for visitors, or there are business owners that could issue sponsored work visas so that there is more legal migration to the US.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Because one of the things that people, I think that's why I showed the video at the beginning. People don't understand. I have a Dominican friend in Puerto Rico that when he explained to me how he survived in those waters to come to the island, it was heartbreaking for me. You know, when he said that they had to feed themselves from a lady that was breastfeeding her baby during that trip, and they had to just drink that milk during
Yeah.
the whole trip. Like that trip is no joke, and I hate to see them risking their lives all the time just to come here and come to Puerto Rico to better themselves. I think people often dehumanize Dominicans and their plight because we stop seeing them as people, and those are people as well. Yeah, I wish more people will understand that about immigrants and especially Dominicans. They're often seen as, you know, something not human, and they go through so much that, you know, it goes unnoticed by so many because unfortunately they don't have time to actually bring awareness to their issues. But if you pay close attention, you can tell.
Yeah.
You can
Yeah.
definitely tell, and it's to me this is a win. If it happens, and like I said, now's not the time to stay dormant. It's time to bother our congressmen and women to push for this because we want to have this happen for the Dominican brothers and sisters in the Caribbean.
It surprised me that Jennifer Gonzalez is actually going to be doing something positive for once,
Right?
not pushing the hot damn the statehood issue that she's always talking about, that she's always sounding like a broken record about. Like, hot damn, for once she's
Yeah,
actually doing something positive. Woof! I mean,
Uh,
definitely.
I guess a
Ramon,
broken record is right twice a day. So this is her
This
broken
lady,
record moment.
yeah,
Her broken clock, I should say. A broken clock is
Ramon,
right twice a day, and this is her broken clock moment.
definitely. I
uh,
think this. Oh, go ahead, Jose.
Yes, sir.
maybe she's waiting to the Dominican to ride to Puerto Rico to talk about statehood.
Uh,
Oh my
to
God.
sell it, yeah, to sell statehood to them, like they're not trying to hear all that.
No, because remember, if you have an ingrown toenail problem, statehood for Puerto Rico is the solution.
Oh yeah,
If you're losing your hair, statehood for Puerto Rico is the solution. If you're gaining weight, statehood for Puerto Rico is the solution.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
her. That's her.
That's usually how she sounds. I mean, natural disasters, division, economic issues. Everything is all placed on statehood. Everything is kind of like all the chips are being put on statehood, according to her. If
I got
it
I
were
got a
her choice,
suggestion. I got a suggestion.
yeah.
Maybe we should fix her up with Guillermo so he can talk about death to the United States and she can talk about stay here for Puerto Rico at the same time.
Oh my God.
Oh, yeah.
And I wanna add to piggyback from that, and then I'm gonna let all aboard talk. This lady that you guys are seeing on the screen, she doesn't do shit for Puerto Rico. So I don't know what divine being is possessing her, but she's doing this, and the way what I believe, I could be wrong, but what I believe, in my opinion, is that she's doing this as a way of supplying American corporations with Dominican labor, which is why I'm saying let's intercept this agenda and actually give her a slap by Dominicans actually giving opportunities to Dominicans and being more genuine, because we don't know how much these corporations plan on, paying our Dominican brothers and sisters for their hard labor. So I would hate to see, other corporations taking advantage of Dominicans after all the shit they go through. Now I'm gonna let Olabor say her piece. What's up, Olabor?
Hey everyone, how's everyone doing?
Good, good. How was your 4th of July?
4th of July was as they say, lit. It was great. Had a good time.
Good,
Um,
good.
I wanted to just actually piggyback off of what you just said. That was my point. Whenever a politician is pro something good and helpful, just know there's something in it for them. I
Yeah,
guarantee you, once you start checking into paper trails and following the money, there's going to be there's a reason she's backing this, and it's probably going to come at a disadvantage to the Dominicans and as a positive to some corporation she's entangled with. This has got to be something to do with a lobbyist or some politicians don't help people, right? But at the same time, we have to use that as an advantage, use it to our advantage. Um, Ramon was saying earlier that there are a lot of Dominicans that are in business,
yeah.
and that's true. There are a lot of Dominicans that have restaurants and are working barbershops, hair salons, and things like that. Those are the most common. So for such a small island, it's pretty cool that we kind of have like a presence, a business presence. But I don't think very many people are aware of the visas of or are really focused on bringing people from the islands to
Definitely.
the states legally
I
because
think it's because sometimes, and you correct me if I'm wrong, but in my personal opinion, I believe that the reason why they don't bring people from the DR is because they're not aware of how this shit works, and misinformation often confuses them, so they just stick to hiring American labor.
well I think there's a bunch of reasons. I mean, in certain situations, like, do you really have the space to be able to house someone? Because I have an example. A brother of mine, he just was able to get his citizenship. Well, not his citizenship, get sponsored. Um, and like the legal way, because a lot of times what people do is overstay visas and things like that, and then
Mhm.
you can't work, and you have to deal with that. But what a lot of times you just don't have the space to house someone, and when you're bringing them over on like a sponsorship sort of a thing, you have to commit to being able to take care of them. They're not going to be able to apply for any sort of benefits or anything like that. So I think that maybe a lot of people just are not financially set up to take care of another person. Now if you're saying that they can get the visa that they're allowed to work, then that would be great because then they can be self-sustainable.
Definitely, definitely. And like I said, it's time for you guys to understand something. Uh the reason why we want to move towards a more financially stable position is so that we can create others just like us. And that is the way you strengthen the ranks of your community and also bring more wealth to your people in your country, which is ultimately the best solution to the chronic poverty that the rest of the Americas is suffering, simply because we know this government destabilizes commerce for the rest of the Americas in one way or the other. So the best response that we can give them is just gaining financial literacy for ourselves and expand it and share it with others, and also provide opportunities. People come here, and the number one reason why they come here is because they're looking for opportunities. So imagine if you can give them the opportunities yourself. It's time to stop being scared. I don't care about your excuses. The only person that cares about them and believes them is you. So I want to start wrapping this up. But before we do that, I want to remind you guys that No Bullshit tomorrow comes with another fresh broadcast with me and all aboard. So I shared the link already in the chat. I'm going to share it again. If you haven't subscribed, I see 16 people here. Please like this video so that I can reach more people and they can get the knowledge that we're sharing today. Also, subscribe to No Bullshit. Hit that bell for notifications so that you can be a participant tomorrow in our second live stream. Last night, it was amazing. I know I enjoyed it. I know all the board also enjoyed it, and everybody that was on the panel enjoyed it. Um, one thing I would say, you guys need to check the sensitivity at the door, because no bullshit, just as it's called, is about no bullshit and our unfiltered opinions about stuff. Sundown says, Denise, you should do 10 hours. Nah, I don't love even to hear me talk that much. Imagine imagine 10 hours. People will hate me for that. But anyway, I want to start wrapping this up. Jose, your final thoughts on the call to all Dominicans.
Okay, first of all, thank you for always allowing me to be part of the stream. I just want to say to our Dominican brothers and sisters, um, you have the opportunity to be the masters of your own fate. Para nuestros hermanos dominicanos, ustedes tienen la oportunidad a ser dueños de su propia vida. Por favor, aprovechar de este momento. It's always good to hear from you guys. And the fact of the matter is, again, there's not too many people that's bringing forth solid information. And what they do, the slow taps, they hate that one person who is the voice of reason, because they have no reason inside of them. As Denise stated, please make sure that you participate in no bullshit. I mean, and actually tomorrow I might actually curse.
I would love to see that, Jose.
Huh?
I would love to see you let loose.
Yeah, definitely. If you guys think that Jose is now versatile, this is one of the most funniest accounts I follow on Instagram. If you don't follow Jose on I'm gonna start sharing your Instagram if you don't mind me doing so.
Please, by
You
all
want
means.
you want to follow Jose on Instagram. His Instagram is hilarious, and I mean that. Okay, he might look at you like, oh, yeah, I just share cute shit and whatnot. Jose actually brings it home. Okay, so go follow Jose. His name is Cute O Nini. I'm gonna share it on the chat so you guys can
Actually, it's
go.
cute. It's cute one and why.
Oh, Cute One NY. Okay, I see you. Go
Yeah,
follow Jose. He's hilarious. So trust me, uh you want to follow him.
but see, there's two things that I put on my social media: humorous stuff and positive messages. And the reason why I do that, because there's too many people that have too much negative toxic stuff that's out there. So you have some positive messages in there. And of course, being a born again Christian, something is Christ centered, but yet it's something that's relatable to everybody. And the fact of the matter is this: if you plan to participate in no bullshit tomorrow, please make sure that you have a strong constitution and you have a thick skin, because anybody that has a thin skin need not participate, or else you will be triggered.
Yeah,
So,
definitely.
and and as always, I'm going to close out the same way I close. Guys, and I mean it with the bottom of my heart, please be careful out there, because I care about you guys. Okay. There are some sick, dynamic, mentally challenged people out there that want to do us harm. And we must minimize our time that we spend with the mentally and intellectually challenged. Because if we fail to do that, we're going to inherit their massive and insane stupidity.
Definitely, Jose. Thank you very much for joining in, and thank you for your humor and your wisdom as usual. Like I said, go follow Jose Cute One
Cute one
NY.
and why?
Definitely, you want to. Thank you very much, Jose, for tuning in. I hope to see you tomorrow. No bullshit.
Definitely.
Okay.
And who knows what I might say tomorrow. Because
Woo!
because
Oh,
you know why? Because they think that quiet people, you don't have to fear them. Quiet people are among the most dangerous.
Del agua mansa, líbrame Dios, que de la brava me libro yo. They
yep.
always say that.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh my God, deliver us from the calm ones. I'll take care of the quote unquote brave ones. Don't worry about it. So, Jose, I'll see you tomorrow. I'm going to put you backstage. Thank you very much for your opinion. Melanated Night, what's your take on a call to all Dominicans?
I think it's a good thing. I had no, like I said, since they think that African Americans don't like them, I have no issue with them. I think you should get your money. I think you should, I think you should take the opportunities to better yourself. I just want to keep in mind for the people on the other side who are listening that people are helping you out, and you can't keep telling them that they're destroyed or something, because at the end of the day, some people could say you're in the same position they are, you're just not taking over. So accept the help, accept other people have solutions, and I'll do the same with my community, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So like I said, just realize that that people do care about you guys, that not everything's a fight, between us, that we do care and that we want you to succeed. So, if it passed, more power to you.
definitely, definitely. Thank you, Melanated Night. I'm going to put you backstage. Thank you for your input. And definitely, yeah, that is true. Just take the help, keep it moving, and forget about the circus. I agree 100%. Now, I see Rakim. What are your final thoughts on a call to all Dominicans to take action?
Oh, my final thoughts, Denise, is once again another great topic, another great stream on information. And I want to second what Melanated Knight just said, was that I want the Dominican diaspora and the island of Dominican Republic to prosper. Focus on your economic growth. Build up your communities. I don't have any hate for the Dominican people. I have great respect for the Dominican people and all of the Latinos in the Caribbean island. So that's all I just wanted to say, and just wanted to make a note for anybody that's looking for solid information. And if you're a critical thinker, this is the channel for you. If you want to learn about what's going on in Latin America, this is the channel for you. And it's important for people that are coming from the islands and coming from Latin America to understand financial literacy, because unfortunately, money is a very big tool in order to create different establishments and to make your community prosper. And that's something that people need to understand. If you just enjoy being entertained, then if you enjoy being stagnant and just looking for something not so serious, then stay on those other streams. But if you're looking for a stream where it's about solving issues, it's about taking action on issues in Latin America, this is the stream for you. And that's all I have to say.
Thank you very much, Rakim. Definitely, yes. In here, we don't play that. Let's do shit for clout. I know, like I said, I'm only talking to 10% of the population, in our diaspora. So definitely, yeah. I don't. Not my circus, not my monkeys. Okay. In here we have intellectual folks. If you haven't realized that, it's people that actually know what they're talking about, and we give our perspectives based on our own experiences when doing business. So thank you, Rakim, for your input. I'm gonna put you backstage. Now I will move into Ramon. I definitely want to hear your final thoughts on this. A call to all Dominicans. What's your take?
Definitely a call to all Dominicans, and I wanted to add a little something to what I was saying before. To Dominican Americans or other Dominicans that are not living on the island itself, if they can do what they can to make their own investment in the country, or maybe they do have family connections, even if they live in the United States. There are a lot of Dominicans that do have long connections, family connections to the country itself. If they can chip in, they can do a little something for the betterment of the country and the peoples and the families. Invest in real estate down there. Invest in the possibility of kind of like business developments on the country itself, so that it helps with the economy and it helps moving money around. That's something that I will strongly encourage that they do. I mean, of course, people that are trying to get out of the country, they're trying to get get prosperity and better their situation, and they're trying to get their piece of the American dream, even though we have already talked about the whole thing about the American dream.
Yep.
But I strongly will encourage anybody who is listening, if they can take a little something of what they're getting, what they're earning, and their wealth, and if they could invest it in the country itself, in the Dominican Republic, get a piece of real estate, or something that you could actually own. Because the thing with the in the United States, when it comes to real estate ownership, that is the whole thing about eminent domain, and your shit can be taken away from you. But it's not like that down there. The people actually do become owners, and ownership is a big thing down there, just like it is for us in Puerto Rico. We do have a thing for trying to own that little house, own the car. The whole lease thing is something that you have to do it over here, but where we're from, that's we prefer to be kind of like the masters of the land and the property, and have it to ourselves. Even though the politicians are trying to change that, the politicians are trying to sell away what is ours. But in the same vein, I would like to exhort Dominicans to take a cue from what is happening in Puerto Rico. Our politicians are trying to sell what is ours, what is our legacy, trying to sell it off to outsiders. Like, don't let that happen. Don't let that happen to your land. Invest in it. Have a ownership stake on it, and definitely, sincerely, don't let it happen. What is happening to us? So
Yeah,
that would
definitely.
be, I would close out on that. And again, thanks for letting me on your panel, Denise.
Always, always a pleasure, Ramon. Always,
Mhm.
and trust me, you were one of the personalities that a lot of people love on No Bullshit, because you really have no filter. You have that Puerto Rican filter. Let's just say that.
Oh yeah, that dirty mind, that dirty mind.
Yeah.
Remember, I grew up, I grew up watching No Te Duermas. You remember that?
Oh my God, yes,
I,
I
rem-
love
I
it.
oh that was
And trust me,
Monday evenings. The whole island would get paralyzed because everybody was watching.
definitely. I
That
will
was such
watch
a
it with my dad, and even I wasn't at the age to watch it because that was adult content, but I still watched
yeah,
it, and it was really, really, really good. So
yes.
definitely bring that unfiltered opinion, that Puerto Rican filter,
Oh yeah, oh
to
yeah.
the Noble Stream. So thank you, Ramon. I will put you backstage. Thank you very much for your input on this. Now I will let the ladies speak. Last but not least, I have a Dominican on the stream that can give us some input. All aboard.
Hi.
What's your take on this? And you can take as much time as you want.
Thank you.
What's your take on this?
I wanted to speak on the fact that I'm disappointed, but I'm not really surprised because there's so many Dominicans in the chat. But when there are topics that um you could add insight to, and you could you know you could add input to, you know a lot of times you guys don't show up. So it's kind of disappointing because we do need to hear from other people from the diaspora, other Dominicans, and well, if you're not talking, hopefully you're listening anyway. But I feel like that was just a missed opportunity. Um, I think that this will be a very very good thing for Dominicans, and then if Dominicans can can be able to progress, I think that other islands will do the same. Like it's kind of, it could be like a test run to see, like um see what we can do. Basically, like we're not all just baseball, beauty salons, and barbershops. Like we need to be making some real strides in business and uplifting our people because the government is not going to do it. We've had the same shitty infrastructure, the same problems for like the last like 50 years at least and more. So I'm just ready for us to make some progress. That's all.
Definitely, definitely, I agree with you 100%. And let's not forget that I want to say something for those of you that have never set foot on the DR. When you go to the DR, something that I love about Dominicans is that they make amazing alternate medicine that actually freaking works, especially for feminine products and whatnot. Their medicine is amazing, and also hair products is a thing in the DR, and it's actually natural shit. So imagine all the things that you can create here, especially because the majority of Dominican hair is 4C, 3C hair. And guess what you have here? You have a market for that because a lot of African American women are looking now into having their natural hair exposed. So you definitely have a business opportunity there for those who want to take it. Go ahead, Olabor. You were going to say something.
Um, I wanted to, yeah, that's very true. Like, and a lot of people don't realize that. Like, whenever there's these talks with Dominican people just going absolutely crazy in the chats, or just being so disrespectful to African Americans, it's really strange to me because in the Dominican salons you're gonna see the people who are supporting you are not the white women. They're not the white men. Those are not the people frequenting the Dominican businesses. It's the African Americans. So um, I really don't understand all of the anger and pushback that's happening lately. And hopefully this is just trolling that will pass. I'm hoping.
Me too. Me too.
Yeah. But also I want to just invite everyone to my channel with Denise to No Bullshit. I'm gonna selflessly and shamelessly promote this until the wheels fall off. No bullshit. We're gonna be there tomorrow. And if you're looking for a bit of a spicier channel with a little bit more adult content, a little bit more laid back, um, come to No Bullshit tomorrow, 4 p.m. Eastern Pacific Standard Time, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and
Definitely.
participate. Rock with us.
Definitely. It's going to be another stellar live stream with our unfiltered opinions. So thank you, all aboard, for your input on this. I appreciate it. And like I said, yeah, I agree with you. Even Pamela agree with you. She's like, you guys need to speak up. Dominicans need to speak up. I'm gonna put you backstage because I want to end up with this. Dominicans, it's time to, get your shit together, embrace your people, start. I don't care how you do it. Like I said, if you fail, you fail, try again. Um, and it's time for you guys to start, bringing some of your stuff here and find a niche to actually, sell it to the Americans, make some American dollars, and bring them to the DR. This is an excellent opportunity for you guys. I hope that you take advantage of it and not let the American corporations infiltrate and take your labor and pay you pennies for it. Okay. So I hope this gives you a little bit of inspiration on how to conduct yourself in the future. And like I said, find your local SBA office, start your business plan, get in contact with some lenders, pitch your business to venture capitalists. I'm going to talk about the pitch next week on how to do a proper pitch to venture capitalists or investors. And I'm going to try to bring a list of angel investors in different aspects so that you guys can bring your pitches to them and actually start asking for money in the right way. Okay, so definitely, guys, next Monday I will be talking about this. This Thursday, as a request that has been made for me, I'm going to be speaking on entertainment and Latinos. So make sure you tune in this Thursday at 4 p.m., 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Um, Without any further ado, I'm gonna get out of here. I need to eat something real quick. And tomorrow, I expect you guys to come to No Bullshit. You don't want to miss it. It's popping. Please, if you're sensitive, stay away. But if you're not, I expect you guys to be there and enjoy yourselves and bring your opinions as well. Okay. It's uncensored. And also, if you're under the age of 21, I'm sorry, but no can do. Okay. Ask your parents if they allow you to watch adult content because there's a lot of things that are more explicit and graphic. So you don't want to be there if you're under 21. So this has been another stellar episode. I hope you guys took some inspiration. Please stay hydrated. Yesterday there was too much alcohol in the equation. Rest your legs, do some flexing, some meditation, and tomorrow let's start this week and be productive as hell. Okay, ignore the circus and keep it moving. Thank you very much for allowing me into your homes and into your devices. For those who are listening in the car or at work, thank you very much for the support. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And also, before I leave, you guys, follow me on Instagram, denise.gonzalez.villegas1, for you to stay in touch with my opinions on different topics that are happening in Latin America, in our Latin diaspora here in the United States. This has been another episode of Latin Explaining with Denise, all about business and finances. Thank you guys. Peace.